Strength was never my strength. Parisi changed all that.
I enjoy helping nonprofits achieve their goals and really accomplish their mission, namely by nurturing my relationship with them, their staff, their donors, their volunteers, and their board members. I think the key to being trusted is really transparency. What I've seen time and time again is that when you give anything the right conditions, the support, the autonomy, trust, your full attention, it will thrive. This is as true for my clients and for my colleagues as it is for myself here at WIS.
Hi, I'm Rob Gusweiler. As the branch manager of our Parsippany location for North Point Bank, I can tell you emphatically that our customers continue to sing our praises. Our community values us as much as we at North Point value our team. Our goal is to always exceed our clients' expectations. If you're just zipping through life and need a helping hand with any of your home buying decisions, please give us a call today.
Me in this game, we got big plans. Overcoming every challenge. And right now, that means getting by him. It means putting in the time to get faster, to get stronger. One thing is for certain, I will never be outworked.
Enough?
Never.
All right. Sussex Meatpacking in Wharton, New Jersey is a family-owned and operated business specializing in USDA prime and choice meats, pork, poultry, lamb, veal, and many other store-made specialty items. They also have a fantastic deli, a wonderful market with all the freshest fruits, veggies, and pre-made meals, and they can cater any event, including your family holiday dinners, more delicious than you can on your own. Visit them at sussexmeat.com. Morris Sussex Sports has a big goal we want to ask your help in achieving. One of the most popular things we do is publish digital trading cards of athletes. We feel strongly that high school athletes are one of the most important parts of our community, and the trading cards allow us to recognize and celebrate as many athletes as possible. So, we have a lofty mission to create a trading card for every single athlete that wears a sports jersey in the Morris Sussex area. But to do that, we need more local businesses that want to help us by sponsoring these trading cards. This is a great way for a business to endear themselves to the communities they do business in. And not only would their business be featured prominently as a sponsor of a new scholar athlete every week, we also advertise them across our social media, our website, and our game broadcasts. And we get over 4 million views a week, 80% of whom are adults 35 to 65. There is no other publication or media company that has even close to that reach in this region. So if you know of a local business that loves to support the scholar athletes in their town or their surrounding area and would benefit from the exposure we would bring, please send them our way. Just call or text 973-713-5944 or email george@morrissussexsports.com.
If you live in Andover, Blairstown, Byram, Frankfurt, Franklin, Frieden, Frelinghuysen, Greene, Hampton, Hardwick, Hope, Knowlton, Lafayette, Newton, Sparta, Stillwater, Sussex, and Wantage. Planet Networks is building high-speed fiber in your neighborhood. Visit getplanetfiber.com today to learn more.
Is it time for you to replace your roof? Well, give Hadco Builders in Chester, New Jersey a call. They've built an amazing reputation over the past 30 years as one of New Jersey's top builders. Hadco will replace your roof the right way at a super fair price and usually get the job done by the time you come home from work. Call or text Tony to get a quote today at 973-818-8516 or visit them at hadcobuilders.com.
Go ahead, take a deep breath. Oh, nice, huh? That's some clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature.
That is good. Who installed the system?
ICS. They're the leaders in HVAC. They make the ductwork at their own factory, so we even save some money.
That's impressive. You recommend them?
It's ICS for HVAC.
I see why.
Hey, Lorraine, go get a big plastic bag. Take some air home with you.
My room is so cold, my fish froze.
Mine's so hot, my sneakers melted.
Rooms with different temperatures? That means your HVAC system is outdated and wasting energy. At ICS, we'll install an energy-efficient system that provides a constant flow of clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature in every room. You could save money each month, and the price we quote is the price you'll pay. Get a quote today. See why we say ICS for HVAC.
I see why.
Watching your loved one play high school sports is a special time in their life you don't want to regret missing. If you're not present for these events due to drinking, misusing medication, or lost control using drugs recreationally, the team at Recovery Centers of America can help. My name is Don, and I'm a treatment advocate for RCA, and I stopped drinking 30 years ago. If I can do it, so can you. Muster up the courage and call me anytime, even in the middle of the night, at 973-722-4720 for a confidential conversation so we can get you back in the stands where you belong. Concerned family members can also call me. Again, any conversation will be absolutely discreet. I am here for you. Just pick up the phone. Montella Inc. is a family-owned dumpster rental business located in Stanhope, New Jersey that's been around since 1984. We provide prompt quality service at a reasonable price for our New Jersey customers, whom we consider our family. We don't just take out the trash. Montella Inc. is a full-service waste management company servicing demolition sites, construction projects, factory sites, shopping centers, commercial businesses, and homeowners. Call today at 973-927-2232. Jen Basilino of the Kosher Real Estate Group, LLC, is a Morris County top real estate agent and New Jersey's Circle of Excellence Award winner year over year that takes the time and care to understand your real estate needs and concerns. She's extremely successful in representing clients in selling and purchasing a home, new construction, townhouses, million-dollar homes, rentals, and even commercial properties. Call her today at 973-202-2100.
The goal, we reset, and TJ Santata has it for the Vikings. Santata brings it right past two defenders. Look at this speed in the open ice. Santata, great stick handling, great shot. Here's Carlotti, in the end zone. It is caught. Charge. Good for the pass. Here's a shot right in front. Score!
And that is a base hit. The run will score. And freshman Polachek gets the strike. Anthony Grosso is going to make sure that the Wolfpack fans go home happy.
Grosso for three. He got it! Ah!
Live here from Central Park, Morristown, as the Cabras will be hosting the Williamsport City Lions, as we're awaiting kickoff in just a brief moment, as both the teams are at midfield as we'll get into the storyline as well as these teams' records later on in this broadcast. Lloyd Wilson joined you alongside Matt Giavoni is also doing our camera work, and our producer, and Paul Arver. The horns are loud and in charge. Teams were warming up not too long ago as they got their final stretches in, got their last message from their respective coaches. The Cabras come into this one 3-2-1, and they are still perfect here at home, as we had a slight field change before this game was broadcasted. We were supposed to be at center field, but we're on the farthest one. Either way, work will be done on it. We'll go into the starters in just a brief moment. First for the Cabras, goalkeeper will be Brenes Anthony Mayorga, Alejandro Venero, Benjamin Godoy, Louis Pennington, Danny De Silva, Raymond Ramos, Brian Kali, Danilo Lopez, Christian Mayorga, and filling it all out is Brian Osorio for the Cabras. On the other side for the Williamsport City Lions, Tevin Beadle, Jamison Bonner, John Confair, Christopher Dempsey, Cameron Labak, Owen McGee, Logan Moore, Stefan Pique, Emmanuel Pombar, Tom Pombar, and then Kolaki Pombar Jr. So we're getting set for this matchup as the Williams City Lions come into this one also 3-2 and are 0-2 on the road. So looking for their first road win today as we start off. First to have it, Cabras. So for the Cabras, they have a totality of 14 goals this season. And the leader in all of the goals is Jean-Pierre Coglino. Leads the team with 3, alongside and Christian Mayorga with 3 as well. Cabras were on the move and getting into Lions territory. And taken away from the Lions. That was Beadle with the steal. So then this one on the far side and going out of bounds, and the Lions will take over.
Right off the bat here, we're seeing the strong midfield play that we've gotten used to for the Cabras at home. It's been their strongest attribute so far on their home turf.
With that, the season is still very early, but even so, as you were speaking on, Giavoni, it is crucial to make sure you take care of business at home. This one being taken away. Lions, as this one was sent out of bounds. It'll stay Lions possession. As Pombar was on the attack. So corner kick on the far side. This one sent in. Taken away for the Cabras. Up ahead. Only one to beat, but then some hustling defense from the Lions. That was Stefan Pique with the defensive tip away. This one sent in the middle. Nothing but white jerseys around. Through kick, nothing there. It's sent back to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper today for the Lions is Christopher Dempsey.
That was really good pressure from Christopher Dempsey. Definitely what you want to do early is be able to go out there and establish yourself as a far out of the box threat that can go out and really attack the ball if he wants to.
Both teams have been able to get pressure early on, more from the Lions. And here are the Cabras trying to get inside the Lions' territory, taking their time. This one's sent away and taken into the back. On the far side was Mayorga. He sends this one through, dribbling, bringing it back. Working that two-man game. In a little bit of trouble, want to bring this one back out, but they continue to stay with it. Pennington on the far side, or the near side corner. It was hit out by the Lions. Corner kick will come up.
Pennington's coming off a big game last time they were here at home, as he was just all over the field. Any time that they got involved, he was there, and just really an all-around great player.
Ramos sends this one inside. The header away from the Lions, getting this away from the box, and it will maybe be last touch by the Lions, and Cabras will take over. It will be a throw-in, waiting for the officials, and there's going to be a switch. Taking the throw-in will be Anthony Mayorga. Ramos sends this one inside, headed away from the Lions. Keeping it alive are the Cabras. The shot, no good, but a solid one coming from Christian Mayorga. Maybe some relation there.
Yeah, the Mayorga brothers, who I believe are playing at Keene together next year, and just two really good players for this Cabras team.
Nothing like getting some off-season workout at the semi-pro level.
Up in there. I need you to pick it up.
The Cabras come into this one fourth in the division in the Northeast American South. And right under them are the Lions, fighting for it. And this one's sent away from the defense. Into midfield, strong header by the Lions. Taking a shot to the head was Logan Moore. On the far side, Anthony Mayorga sends this one in to his brother. Great body control and box out just for the brief moment. Ramos gets out of trouble, gets out of the double team, and sends this one back. So far, 6 minutes in, we're still scoreless here. Cabras trying to keep it away from the Lions as a multitude of defenders coming up to put pressure on the Cabras. Far side. Escaping the double team. Here's Ramos, sends this one on the other side. They switch to side of the field. Gets this one through. No foul call. Ramos looking at the official saying, where is it? Nice through ball, but nothing there as the goalkeeper for the Cabras comes up to get it, and that's Camilo Bernis. So far, Javoni, there's been a lot of back and forth, but the pressure from the Lions, again, they must have heard us talking about them being 0-2 on the road. Been a lot of pressure early on from them.
Yeah, I really like the fact that they're not giving the Cabras any easy clears out of their defensive zone. They're definitely keeping a lot of pressure and doing really well in the midfield, which is something that coming into this, we know the Cabras have had a good midfield attack the whole season, so definitely a plus to be able to go up there and challenge them in the midfield.
This one's sent away. That was Stephon Piquet, but still in the possession of the Cabras, going through the legs. Still in the field of play. It goes out of bounds. We'll see what way it stays. They say it'll stay with the Cabras. Great defense that time by Stephon Piquet. Coaches for this Cabra squad: Juan Gonzalez, Luis Mercerno, Roberto Gonzalez, and Alfonso Perez. Corner kick coming up. Rather, no, it'll be a throw-in. This one thrown into the box. And a nice shot inside and scores. And the first one to get on the board is the home team, still perfect at home in the Cabras. Let's take another look at it here. Number 2, Alejandro Venero. The nice send-in. A tap. And Javoni almost a little hopper, almost at the ankle level, just for him to put enough power into his ankle to send that one through the net.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you get a hopper like that, it gives you a really good chance to elevate the ball and really attack anywhere in the goal. And that's exactly what he did. Excellent shot to start the scoring off.
So Alejandro Venerio able to get his 3rd goal on the season. He was one of the top scorers on this squad. Now ties his 2 other teammates, and Christian Mayroga, and then Juan Cogliano. And here's the pressure, and going down is the goal scorer, reaching for his face for a brief moment as Stephon Piquet puts the ball right next to him. Alejandro Venerio, he's down for a brief moment.
Yeah, Stephon Piquet clearly didn't believe going down on the ground there from Veneria.
The referee giving him a little consultation and making sure he's okay. But we play on. And to continue this will be Jameson Bonner. And you can clearly see that PK was like, are you serious? He felt a little bit uneasy about the call. This one sent into Cabras territory, into the box. Nice header to get it out of harm's way, and then here are the Cabras trying to take over. Great defensive pressure on the far side, almost being double teamed and kicked out of bounds from the Lions. It'll stay Cabras' possession. Play continues. This one thrown in. Great defense and backing down and boxing out. Alejandro controls the tempo, sets everyone, and then gets it to the far side. This one sent in, but then kicked away in the air from PK. Closest one to the possession was Pennington, and this one sent out of bounds. He'll stay Cabras' possession. This one to be thrown in by Brian Khalid. And this is exactly how they scored on their last possession, Javoni. Let's see if they can recreate the same magic. This one thrown in, the header. Khalid heads this one back into the scorer's box, and a foul call. Do you approve of the same method they try to do that one, Javoni? Throwing it in and possibly hoping for the best?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you could get a throw in like that, especially in that position where it almost mimics a corner kick, but it gives you a little more control, it's definitely an ideal way to try to get on the board.
Wasting no time and trying to put the pressure. He was starting the break. Emmanuel Palmbar, one of the Palmbar brothers on this Lions squad. Again, both of these two teams coming on different sides of the spectrum. One coming off of a loss, and the other, the Cabras, the home team, coming off of a 2-game winning streak. Out of their 6 games played, PK keeps this one alive on the near side sideline.
And again, you see that Lions defense, or offense, I should say, no easy clears for the Cabras defense. And it's really made a difference so far in their offensive possessions, being able to keep it in that zone for lengthy periods of time.
This one thrown in by PK as he comes back to get it near side. Sends this one in through multiple defenders. Nice touch pass ahead, and was going in the direction of a teammate, but he was cut off immediately. He was sending it to Owen McGee. PK on the sideline, and this one stepped out of bounds as it will stay Lions possession. Bonner to send this one in. He sends this one into Cabras territory. The header was a little bit too high for the Lions to handle. The closest man to it was one of the brothers in Tom Pombar. He was going for the sky-high header. As some sun is starting to seep through, not sure if it will play a factor for the Lions as they're playing away from the sun. We'll see how it affects the Cabras. This one in the air, keeping it alive. Now at midfield near PK. And a foul call.
Yeah, I'll tell you who that sun will definitely affect us, because it is right in our eyes.
It is, but that's why we have papers, and in your defense, maybe there's nothing actually. I'm sorry, there's just nothing for you. This one to be sent in at midfield. Inside the box, and this one a little bit too far, and great defensive play from the Cabras and Brian Osario to send this one out to make this a corner kick. So this is probably the most pressure that the Lions have had so far this afternoon. Well, this evening, we could actually say, Javoni.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting as the Lions are able to keep it in here, how they're able to test this defense and continue to take different shots to see what's going to work for them.
This one sent in, flying high for the ball, and hitting the top of the bar. It was hard to see who got the header on that one, but just hit the top of the bar. If just a inch lower, could have been a goal to tie this one up. Burnett sends this one in on the far side. Cabras able to keep possession on the far side. This one sent in, and this one goes awry as it's taken away from the Lions. Trying to switch field possessions, and they do, but a great defensive play just to get it out of harm's way is Pennington.
That was really good defensive play because there was very little defenders back there. If Pennington didn't get that one, it might have been an easy Lions goal.
Tevin Beadle was the closest Lion to it, and he has nothing but grass in front of him. Tripping on the play for the brief moment, and two tripping on the play. First it was Emmanuel Pombar, and then it was Tom Pombar. So both brothers hitting the grass, or we should say hitting the turf on the same possession, but foul will be called on the spot, and play will continue.
Yeah, and Pennington put his hands up right away, but you can't get away with that much contact, even if you didn't mean it.
So referees making sure that the defensive players are in their positions as both Bonner and Beadle. Maybe with a fake out here, Javoni. Let's see what they come up with. Sends this one and just starts to drift to the right. It had great trajectory. It just started to drift a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that
rather great power, and then the trajectory started to go to the right.
You were spot on with the fake out. Bonner lifted his hand as if he was going to take it, and Beadle was the one who actually took it. So they did try a little bit of trickeration there, just as you said, a little drift to the right there.
And with a kick like that, it all depends. So from what we just seen, the left footer had maybe more of an advantage to maybe drift that into the right corner of the net compared to the right footer in Bonner, who, if he were to kick this one as he originally, as you stated, had his hand up, maybe would have hit a defender in front of his face. It's all about angles. This one's sent to Beadle and a little bit too far. Cabras get the possession as they hold a 1-0 lead here early in this ball game. Or we should say match. Beadle gets it out of harm's way as he had nowhere to go as he was on the sideline. This one's stolen away, but then a foul called. Alejandro was on his way as he gets hobbling again. Play continues as Alejandro is still down, trying to get his bearings together. Lions continue to play, and then it goes to the goalkeeper in Brennis. And on that collision, as Alejandro was trying to possibly get the breakaway, he clashed with the ball at the point of attack. So he's getting checked on by the medical staff for this Cabra squad. But while we have a chance in the middle of this break, talking about the origin story for this Cabra squad, they started back in 2022 when they held the first summer clinic in Dover. In the 2020, the logo was a tribute to the co-ed team that they used to play on as friends at Las Cabras. They started this club because they saw the need for a premier level club in Dover, since the only things available were local recreation, travel programs. The town's top players were consistently leaving to go play in other competitive clubs. So the Cabras FC wanted to give players a place to develop and continue to play close to home. Owners of this club, Roberto Gonzalez, as well as Alfonso Perez, the two coaches for this squad, as Alejandro seems to be fine as he's coming back to the sideline as he got a brief substitution. So this one's sent too far into the Lions' den. '21 has gone by. This one's skied at midfield. Multiple headers. It'll stay Cabras' possession. On the far side, trying to beat it out. This one sent in a little bit too far away, as the closest one was Alejandro on the far side. Still 1-0 lead for the Cabras coming into this one. Perfect one at home. Whereas for the Lions, 0-2 on the road this season. Both teams are 3-2, but for the Cabras, they have had a draw so far this season out of their 6 games played. This one trying to change field positions. And great box out in defense. As some controversial calls. It was going to be Lions ball, but they say this may be Cabras. Is there some discussion going on?
Yeah, and a little bit of confusion there. It looked like they were out of bounds before anything even happened. So,
well, without a doubt, Beadle was out of bounds, but after the box out, that came from Louis Pennington. So it didn't really give Beto a chance to get in position to make a play. It's almost the same thing in football. If you run out of bounds, you're out of position. Well, American football, we should say.
So the next foul's a booking. You've marked it now. The next foul for them is a booking.
So it will be Cabras ball. State Cabras ball after the tap out from the far side. And they say it'll be offsides as trying to get a number on the far side forward.
Speaking of the far side, a little bit of a crowd forming there now.
Now I'm starting to see. Look, I was so invested into the game, I didn't even see the crowd that was starting to gather.
Definitely starting to fill the fence a little bit.
And more still coming. This game started at 7, but this is not the only game that's going to be played here today, as this one's sent. And an opportunity for the Lions by himself. Takes the shot and scores! All by himself. Emmanuel Palmbar ties the game up at 1-0.
And Emmanuel Palmbar, just one of many Palmbars on this team that's able to do exactly that if they get alone. Just excellent control. Had Brennis all to himself, and unfortunately for Brennis, you just cannot be everywhere at once.
And it was a nice through ball to get it over the defense's head, and it was just one-on-one. And look, if he's even, he's leaving. And with that, he had a shot. Now ties this game up at 1. And we have a game here. 24 minutes have passed.
So also something we have to note, because this always amazes me. Brennis, only a junior in high school right now at Dover High School. So definitely a little intimidating, I would say, for him being out here with all of these older kids, especially some who are playing in college.
Yeah. But it'll be a great experience for him when he goes back, as you said, to high school. This is the kind of experience that you can't always get at school. And it's exactly one of the reasons, as the ball's on the far side with Anthony Mayroga. But this is exactly why the Cabras FC said that they formed a league such as this. Players that come home, to stay home rather, to develop their skill, but also play some high-level competition. Lions on the attack. Nice through ball for Palmbar. And with that one was cut off by Pennington. Pennington sends this one to switch fields on the far right side. And not able to keep it in with the Lions, so Cabras will take over, throw in. This one's stolen away from the Lions. Here's Palmbar. Almost stepped out of bounds. He sends this one inside. Nice ball, but not able to capitalize on it. Coming down like a missile was Kalaki Palmbar Jr. So the junior was trying to get on the board as well, Javoni.
Yeah, and that was a great pass inside to Kalaki Palmbar Jr. and just a very risk-or-reward situation for Brennis going out there and attacking the ball, because that's it's either going to be what happened where he's able to get the save, or it's going to be a goal. There's no other scenario there.
And it just unfortunately, Kalaki came way too fast for him to time it up well with the ball. He came with the speed, just not enough control to get the goal. Here's Pennington, sends this one into the middle, almost stolen away from the Lions. Multiple pressure from defenders. Trying to get this one back into the middle. So far, nice control, dribbling, gives it to Alejandro. Trying to split between the defenders, and it has this one stolen away. PK trying to get away from Alejandro. Great footwork, and then a foul was called. A little bit too overly aggressive that time by Alejandro.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you get in a big crowd like that where the ball's just in between everybody's feet and nobody could really get a handle on it, you're going to get some pushing and shoving eventually, because it's just human nature to try to be more physical than the next person.
This one sent to the opposite side. Brian Osorio. And then this one thrown in, and we'll see what the call is. So it was a misplacement. So we'll get another throw in. This one thrown into Ramos. Ramos trying to switch the sides of the field. Back into Ramos at the middle. On the far side. This ball moving around, trying to split between multiple defenders. Brian Khalid. Along with Ramos, and almost a push. Nothing called. Referees letting them play. Lions take over. PK sends this one. And then last touch by Pennington, it'll stay Lions possession. Here's Beadle, sends this one inside. And then Alejandro second-guessed himself by going with it. Maybe a foul, thought he was going to be called. And a nice sliding steal from the Cabras. Go to the far side. Here's Ramos. Sends this one inside, and a little bit too far for Alejandro, trying to beat it out in the near side corner. Great pressure from PK, and it'll stay Cabras' possession. And Javoni, PK has just been a menace all over this defensive side of the field.
Oh, yeah, PK's not letting them get anything, especially in the corner like that, where we've already seen the Cabras have been strong today, being able to pass it in, cross over, and try to score a goal. PK's not going to let them get anything there that they don't automatically get from throwing in, such as this.
He's done a great job of just moving his feet and staying with anyone that has the ball. Ramos to throw this one in. Kind of a lofty one, but headed away. And this one sent inside, but able to be tracked down from the goalkeeper. That's 2 saves so far from Christopher Dempsey. Sprinting by everyone, and almost a great steal was from Osorio, and a great aggressive save that time by Bernes.
Yeah, absolutely. Bernes has established himself as somebody who's not afraid to come out deep into the box a little bit, and really good there to get the ball out fast and help the Cabras clear.
This one almost in the same location as last time, as Bernes comes over to make sure that there's nothing going on there and sends that one into the woods.
You ever get the feeling that a goalie wants to be out there running around with everybody?
I do. We've seen on back-to-back possessions, both Bernes as well as Dempsey, they've come out of their, protective spots to make an aggressive play. Whether to kick out of harm's way or come up and save the ball.
Absolutely, very similar style of goaltending between Bernes and Dempsey. Just really aggressive and not afraid to leave the goal a little unprotected if it means that they're going to be able to make a play on the ball.
This one headed in the air into the box, but then sent away from the Cabras. Waiting for teammates, but then decides to go ahead by himself. Now the teammates start to come in, and Ramos and Alejandro. Gets it to Ramos. Ramos has this one taken away from the Lions. And then stolen away, and then it'll be an offsides. Pennington seems to be shaken up as he's on the ground. As
Pennington called him out for it.
Yeah, Pennington made sure that Beadle made sure that he was not satisfied with him being on the ground and them continuing to play without making sure that he's okay.
And that's just something you're going to get with the theatrics of soccer. Every once in a while, there is.
So Pennington will come to the side for a brief moment to make sure that he's okay. As he's getting attended to. He's getting attended to and maybe a quick cramp.
Yeah, it looks like he's stretching out his calf there. Which definitely, with the drastic temperature change from this time yesterday to this time now, it could make sense if you're not well hydrated.
Score is at 1 apiece. So play continues as Alejandro keeps this one in play. Chasing it down was Benjamin Godoy. So sent out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in from the Lions. And they say it was possible handball. Play continues as the Lions take a shot. This one goes way left, and it's no good from the Lions.
And see, that's something you've always got to remember. Even if you think it's the most obvious handball in the world, if the ref's not going to call it, you're still going to play. So definitely have to make sure they're keeping their heads in the game, even while pleading for the penalty to be called.
Owen McGee took the shot that went to the left, and John Confair was, we can't even say guilty party, because if you ain't caught, you're in the clear. So play continued even after the questionable call of a handball on Confair. This will be a throw-in from the Lions, as coming back into the game was Pennington. And with that being in the midst, even with him off the field, Javoni, they had no substitution for him.
Yeah, absolutely, and that just shows you the... Wanted to pause there for a second. That just shows you the confidence that they have in Pennington, the fact that if they know he can come back in, they're not going to sub for him because they want him in that game because they know what he brings to this attack.
So a little bit confusion, as I believe both teams stopped for a brief moment because a potential foul. But then the referee comes by to calm everything down and say we start at the blue line near side the sideline. Here's Alejandro near side. Double team coming. He's able to get out of it. What a play. Sends this one in, and then not on the same page was Congolino. Here's Ramos. They switch the sides of the field, going from left to right. This one sent on the other side to Alejandro. Trying to escape Piqué, and Piqué takes it away from him. Here's Beadle. Now he's almost being double teamed. He's able to get out of it, out of nowhere, and then running over his man, but being able to stay on his feet. Here's Brian Khalid. On the far side, having some room. Here are the Cabras, and then chasing it down, able to still get it this one away, taking the shot, and is saved. And they say it'll be a foul inside the scorer's box.
That was just excellent offense from the Cabras, great hustle, but even better defense from the Lions, who were able to just deter them enough to be able to stop them from scoring there.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the brothers in Christian Mayorga. He was putting the pressure on. I thought he had it stolen away from him for a brief moment towards the baseline, and then he was able to stay with it just to get enough to get the foul.
There's no fourth, so I got no one to talk to.
So a little bit over 35 minutes. It'll be a penalty kick for Christian Mayorga.
It's a dangerous player to have take a penalty kick against you, too. Christian Mayorga has just been so good. He's shown us that he has excellent control over the ball here.
Coming into this game with 3 goals on the season, he could get his 4th. And this could be a huge one. To put them up 2-0. Mayorga sings it in. Top left of the corner. And the Cabras take the lead.
And I mean, how can you have better placement there on that penalty kick? That I don't think that was possible to be saved from.
Phenomenal.
Just a top corner. That's what you want to see.
Great placement, great power, great trajectory. Everything solid all around, and they take the lead 2-1 with a little over 38 minutes in this match.
Even if you told him exactly where the ball would be placed there, I don't know if he would have been able to save it.
Exactly.
Excellent score.
And then Christopher Dempsey, as we saw in the replay, he dove at the lower level. He had no idea that ball was going into the top corner. PK on the ground for a brief moment, grabbing his ribs, but the play continues on the far side. Lions still have possession. Cabras take over. Sliding in for the steal, and a foul will be called. And Cabras have it. On the far side is Brian Osorio. This one sent. Alejandro with the header. Then goes to the far side. Osorio trying to beat it down. And then Burness makes sure it's out of harm's way.
And that's something I've noticed about Brennis in the early going of this game. He's not afraid to just kick it back out into play. He doesn't always cover it up like you'll see some goalies do. He's definitely more willing to try to get some offense started.
He's the aggressive type. He'll make sure to start the break and come out of that box if need be. On that far side, one of the brothers in Mayorga. There's Anthony Mayorga on there. This one's sent back to the middle. Skying for it, Osorio. And they'll say last touched by the Lions. This one thrown in, and the Lions take over. Some miscommunications between the Lions as they had an opportunity to send the through ball, but then turned over. Here's Pennington. Pennington keeps it away from Beadle. Alejandro by himself, trying to go through multiple defenders. Nice crossover. Oh, great handle. Nice tap and spin. This one last touched by Alejandro, and the Lions take over with the throw-in. Thrown in by one of the Lions on the far side. We'll get a license plate of him. Ramos, nice sliding kick. As this one sent into the fence, and the Cabras will take over.
With the first half starting to teeter down, I'm sure the Cabras would love to get one more quick score up on the board here to give themselves a little bit of padding for the second half.
Have a little bit over 4 minutes. Almost now a little bit less than 4 minutes. In these last few minutes, Javoni, what would you like to see the Lions do in regards to possibly getting that ball into Cabras territory?
Well, I mean, the Lions, what they need to do is get back to what they were doing in the first 10, 15 minutes of this game, which is dominating that midfield and being able to really stop the Cabras from clearing out of their defensive zone. The offense was almost playing defense, not letting the Cabras get anything going, and that's what they need to get back to.
Not sure if you noticed when, as you said, in the first 10, 15 not sure if you noticed in the first 10, 15 minutes, you saw a little bit more of the double teams on some of these players. Like we saw a lot more almost double, triple teams to create that kind of pressure on the ball handler.
Absolutely, and with we already saw what the Mayorga brothers can do, what Alejandro can do. There's just a couple of really good ball handlers on this Cabras team, so that might be a halftime adjustment maybe that they make, is getting back to those double and triple teams to be able to take that ability to get the ball around the defenders out of play.
Conversation that Kenny Fern and Ian Scheller will have with their squad at the halftime break. Falling down hard, no foul call. Now it's finally called. And taking a tumble in a hard way was Emmanuel Palmbar. Jason Bonner, a little bit out of that midfield circle. This team working with over a little less than 2 minutes left to go in this first half. Sends this one way inside the circle, and then trying to, not a bicycle kick, but almost a sideward air kick.
Yeah, and you see the kind of the pro and con. The pro is, it looks cool, and also in certain scenarios it gives you a really good chance to possibly score. The disadvantage is that you also have very little control over that, and we saw that there, as that wasn't necessarily where he wanted to place it.
Clocky Bombard Jr., only the second shot that he's had in this game. The first one, I would say, was more of a unofficial shot, as this one sent out by PK, and immediately after that hit out of bounds, he comes hobbling off of the field, and he's in some pain. I don't want to speculate, but as he's having his hand around that groin area, and Javoni, we know that groin area, that can, for a soccer player, that can be everything. That's your mobility. That's essentially everything. There's no other understatement for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Also gives you your stretch, which is very important, as we've seen many a leg come up to really the head level of a lot of these players. That's definitely gives you a lot of range.
And for the Lions, they hope that they are able to get PK back, as we talked about earlier in this broadcast, essentially their best defender on this side. And with that, halftime is here as the Cabras lead this one 2-1 at home. Still perfect at home. Williamsport City trying to get a win on the road. We'll see if they can do it coming into this second half. Your scores for that first half was Alejandro Venero and one of the Mayorga brothers in Christian Mayorga, now getting his 4th goal on the season. Myself, Lloyd Wilson, and Matt Giavoni will be right back here for Cabras football in association with more Sussex Sports.
Do your glory days as a high school athlete feel far behind you? Are memories of being out there competing so clear that you can feel it? But then reality sets in, and your stiff back, achy knees, and painful shoulders remind you that it's been years or even decades since you could move that way. Don't worry, the team at Better with Physical Therapy's one-on-one customized care can help you feel and move better again. Their specialists will find the cause of what's slowing you down and build a plan that will help you realize that your glory days are still ahead of you. You can get better with Physical Therapy, located in the Madison YMCA. Request an appointment today at betterwithpt.com.
Oh.
For all of the perks that come with working here, I would say that the most valuable thing WIS offers is freedom. The freedom to make the most of your role, to really go beyond the job description, the freedom to think differently and be rewarded for it, and the freedom to show up as 100% who you are.
Sussex Meatpacking in Wharton, New Jersey is a family-owned and operated business specializing in USDA prime and choice meats, pork, poultry, lamb, veal, and many other store-made specialty items. They also have a fantastic deli, a wonderful market with all the freshest fruits, veggies, and pre-made meals, and they can cater any event, including your family holiday dinners, more delicious than you can on your own. Visit them at sussexmeat.com. Watching your loved one play high school sports is a special time in their life you don't want to regret missing. If you're not present for these events due to drinking, misusing medication, or lost control using drugs recreationally, the team at Recovery Centers of America can help. My name is Don, and I'm a treatment advocate for RCA, and I stopped drinking 30 years ago. If I can do it, so can you. Muster up the courage and call me anytime, even in the middle of the night, at 973-722-4720 for a confidential conversation so we can get you back in the stands where you belong. Concerned family members can also call me. Again, any conversation will be absolutely discreet. I am here for you. Just pick up the phone.
My room is so cold, my fish froze.
Mine's so hot, my sneakers melted.
Rooms with different temperatures? That means your HVAC system is outdated and wasting energy. At ICS, we'll install an energy-efficient system that provides a constant flow of clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature in every room. You could save money each month, and the price we quote is the price you'll pay. Get a quote today. See why we say ICS for HVAC.
I see why.
George J. Keller and Sons want your house to be the kind of home for all to see. Best roofing, windows, siding too. Great solar and gutters, we're here for you. Our seasoned pros are unsurpassed, so give a call, we'll take your task. Transform your home, that's what we do. So give a call, we're here for you. For roofing, siding, windows and solar, we do it all for you. George J. Keller and Sons. Your family-owned operation since 1980. Call for your free estimate.
If you live in Andover, Blairstown, Byram, Frankfurt, Franklin, Frieden, Frelinghuysen, Greene, Hampton, Hardwick, Hope, Knowlton, Lafayette, Newton, Sparta, Stillwater, Sussex, and Wantage, Planet Networks is building high-speed fiber in your neighborhood. Visit getplanetfiber.com today to learn more.
I actually used to be deathly afraid of public speaking. I intentionally became an adjunct professor teaching tax, and I also became a Zumba instructor as a way of overcoming this fear of mine. They're both forms of leading and teaching in their own right. Bottom line though, WIS supports my passions. I truly believe that WIS wants me to be the best version of myself, and it's such an amazing feeling that I truly have the freedom to do that here.
I was born fast. Parisi made me faster.
I thought I could jump. Parisi brought me to new heights.
I wasn't always quick. Parisi made me lightning fast.
Strength was never my strength. Parisi changed all that.
Choosing a college is a big, big, big deal. But I know I started right because CCM is in the top 2% of community colleges in the nation. And at County College of Morris, I get to choose from over 100 programs. Whether you're just out of high school, like me, exploring career options,
like me,
or seeking lifelong learning,
like me,
make CCM your choice, like me. Go big and visit ccm.edu and aspire to be you.
Go ahead, take a deep breath. Oh, nice, huh? That's some clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature.
That is good. Who installed the system?
ICS. They're the leaders in HVAC. They make the ductwork at their own factory, so we even save some money.
That's impressive. You recommend them?
It's ICS for HVAC.
I see why.
Hey, Lorraine, go get a big plastic bag. Take some air home with you.
Montella Inc. is a family-owned dumpster rental business located in Stanhope, New Jersey that's been around since 1984. We provide prompt quality service at a reasonable price for our New Jersey customers, whom we consider our family. We don't just take out the trash. Montella Inc. is a full-service waste management company servicing demolition sites, construction projects, factory sites, shopping centers, commercial businesses, and homeowners. Call today at 973-927-2232.
WIS gives me the freedom to be entrepreneurial, innovative. I feel supported to bring 100% of myself and my personality to work each and every day. I'm the CEO of WIS Family Office. I have 2 amazing children. I'm the daughter of French and Italian immigrants. Above all, I'm someone who derives strength and confidence from my ability to connect with others, and I strive to make a difference in their lives.
Hi, I'm Rob Guswaller. As the branch manager of our Parsippany location for North Point Bank, I can tell you emphatically that our customers continue to sing our praises. Our community values us as much as we at North Point value our team. Our goal is to always exceed our clients' expectations. If you're just zipping through life and need a helping hand with any of your home buying decisions, please give us a call today.
At Planet Networks, our high-speed fiber is designed to be fast. Up to 300 times faster than cable, and up to 500 times faster than DSL. As fast as 10,000 megabits per second up and down, if you speak nerd. We're talking cheetah, bullet train, lightning strike, hummingbird, race car kind of fast. Planet Networks. So fast, it's worth the wait.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
Back here for Cabras football as they hold the lead against the Williamsport City Lions 2-1. Lloyd Wilson with you alongside Matt Giavoni and our producer and Paul Arvert. As we're getting set for the second half of the play. No lights here so far for the field, but both teams can still see where the ball is going.
Yeah, the lights will certainly present an interesting twist to the game if they don't come on, because we've got maybe a half an hour of light left, but about 15 minutes more play after that, so we might just have a dark ending to this game.
We'll see which team has the light at the end of the tunnel with a victory. when this is all said and done after 45 more minutes of play. So the teams have switched sides. The Lions now going from right to left from our vantage point, and the Cabras going from left to right. So this one's sent back to the goalie, and Brennis. And you can hear him screaming, saying, "Go back, come back, come back," making sure that there's nothing in danger. As this one's sent to the middle. Alejandro there, he did score a goal in that first half, Javoni, and he did it in a, let's say, speedy way. He was able to slice and dice through multiple defenders, but all in all, he got the right bounce and able to put it in.
Yeah, it seems like every time he touches the ball, he does something spectacular. He's had an excellent handle today, and he's hit a couple of spin moves around some different people that really just show how impressive his skills are.
He's a great ball handler when he has it. Here he is now. And with that goal, he got his third on the season, one of the leading scorers for this squad. Him trying to go through the legs, and nothing there. The injured player in that first half in PK, we see him out there now, Giovanni, so great sign of life on the defensive end, especially for the Lions.
Yeah, that's always scary when you see a player having to do some major stretches at the end of the first half, but the fact that halftime came so quickly and he was able to take a moment to rehydrate, stretch out, and make sure he's okay, definitely a plus. And PK, as we mentioned, a very important player, so the Lions happy to have him back.
They're going to need him on that defensive side, especially with players like Alejandro, as well as one of the Mayorga brothers, Christian Mayorga, who was able to break our tie with a penalty kick early in that first half, as this one was sent out of bounds and it'll stay Lions possession. So a corner kick will be coming from the Lions. And I believe that's Kalaki Palmer Jr. in the corner. He's going to send this one inside the scorer's box. And we're going to get a substitution as PK may be done for the afternoon or evening, Giovanni.
Yeah, and what we could have just seen is maybe PK went out there, tried to play a few, and realized he wasn't up to full health, and obviously health is the most important thing, so the substitution definitely important if he wasn't feeling 100% out there.
Ethan Heller will be his substitution, but a Cabra player on the ground. As trying to get a license plate on him. I believe that's number 9 in Congolino. So maybe Congolino on the turf right now, trying to get his bearings together. But in the meantime, we'll talk a little bit more about the Cabras squad as a whole. So far in their season, they started the season with a win against FTFA Gunners, who were 3-1 away. Had 4 players named in the UPSL Team of the Week, along with the Player and Coach of the Week. Second game, original home opener against the NJ Alliance FC, got canceled due to weather. Third game of the season, they took a tough loss to Aloy Soccer Club, who was 2-0 on the road after some questionable refereeing. Fourth match, also won at home against a home opener against Pennsylvania Prime FC, who was 5-1. Fifth week, also took a tough loss in the last minute after coming back from being down 2-0 against the Philadelphia Lone Star FC squad. And then that 6th game, they won against UCFFC. And before this game today, were able to tie That's where the tie came from. Again, they come into this 3-2-1. They were able to tie the game against Real FC just a week ago. So with the UPSL, standing for the United Premier Soccer League, started in 2011 for those who are just tuning in. Now stands as the largest, most competitive pro development league in North America. The league occupies the 4th tier of U.S. soccer pyramid, just below the professional tiers within the pyramid. Currently in the league, UPSL play Division I Northeast American South Conference, where currently the Cabras, again, are 5th in the division. And after being attended to and walking off on his own power, as his teammates clap up for him, and Jean Congolino, as he'll head to the bench as the lights, or rather the light on this field, starts to get dimmer and dimmer, Javoni.
Yeah, and with Cogolino being able to walk off under his own power, it makes me think instead of maybe a cramp or muscle injury, it could have been a collusion when they were all going up to try to get a header off that corner kick, possibly going into some sort of concussion protocol again. That's something they always want to stay safe with, especially with all of the new research in sports on head injuries in general.
So we'll get a substitution, and right now one of the subs will be number 19 and John Lopez. So Lopez checks into the game for the first time this evening as his squad has a 2-1 lead in this match. Confair on the far side sends this one into the air. Danny De Silva able to head this one out of harm's way. It'll be a throw-in for the Lions. This one thrown in. Pressure from Alejandro, and then here are the Cabras now as they get the steal. Great fake out.
It's a nice move from Brennis there, just taking any time off the clock possible, even if it is just a few seconds with the grabbing of the ball when it enters the box. But any time when you have a lead that you could take off the clock, definitely valuable.
Playing the game the right way, and time of possession usually wins the victories, depending on how you are able to capitalize off of it. So instead of just wanting to make sure that it's clear, Congolino is out there. The injured player is actually Benjamin Godoy. So on the far side, it will be a corner kick.
Feel that wind pick. You can hear that wind
starting to pick up, yeah. We'll see how that affects. Actually, this will be a throw-in. Strong throw-in inside. This one shot, but way over the fence, and it goes in to the woods.
It's a good look again off the throw-in for the Cabras. They've definitely liked to attack any opportunity they get to really get some good placements on the perimeter of the goalie's box, but just excellent defense again from the Lions, being able to deter anything from.
Looks like the lights are starting to flicker on as we're starting to see some kind of light shine through the bulbs.
Hopefully enough to get us through
hopefully
the game.
enough to get us through. So questionable, rather, coach is not agreeing with the call on the field. It'll stay Lions possession as a foul was called. As this one will be a free kick. Confair on the far side. We'll see what Confair looks to do to send this one in to create the pressure, or does he be conservative? He sends this one in, into the box. This one, from the way it was projected, I thought this was going to be a goal, but it goes over the net, and it'll go to Cabras. And I saw the face, I saw your face, Javona. You thought the exact same thing I thought. Like, is there a way that just got in?
That would have been no fair. Almost hit the top of the goal there. From the angle it looked like on the camera, I thought that was all the way in. Just a beautiful free kick and nearly perfect, but that had to have only missed by about a foot or two.
Well, for the Cabras' sake and for our sake, the lights come on. Cabras still lead this one 2-1. Christian Mayorga on the near side sideline has this one stolen away from the Lions. Almost had that one stolen back. So possible drops starting to fall from the sky above. Hopefully not until the conclusion of this game. On the far side, Confair sends this one with a nice through ball ahead. Inside, taking the shot, falling down while doing it, looking for the foul, he doesn't get it. Looking for the foul was Tom Pombar, as he almost tried to do the same thing Alejandro did in the first. All you needed was a little bounce just to get enough power to send it through the net, but he was looking for the foul. He didn't get it. Lions take over. Confair goes back to go get it. Lions taking their time, still trailing this one by 1. Soft pressure from the Cabras. And if you're the Cabras, Javona, you don't really have to pressure the ball as much if you don't want to. You're more playing conservative defense.
Yeah, on defense, they don't need to take any huge risks right now, especially because the Lions may start playing more sporadically, trying to get anything on the board as the clock slowly becomes their enemy.
So some raindrops starting to fall through, just a light rain. Nothing that will truly impact the game, as this one sent through to Anthony Mayorga, and this one will last be touched by the line, so stay.
Oh yeah, you could start to see it picking up now. Definitely getting some drops out here.
As it was projected, the weather report coming in, it was only supposed to be cloudy, no rain, but sometimes the weatherman or lady can't predict everything. You can only do the best that you can. Throw in from the Cabras into the box. Header inside, but then goes awry. Taken away from Dempsey. Dempsey sends this one into the air. Floored. Emmanuel Pombar on the far side. Brings this one, checking it. Alejandro there to defend. Sends this one through. Chasing it down is Beadle. Beadle tries to get it inside, but then tracked down from the defense.
And that's something that we rarely saw from the Lions in the first half, being able to take it all the way down the field, like in almost a fast break, kind of motion like that. Definitely something that they hope to continue throughout the remainder of this game, and probably a halftime adjustment that the coaches wanted to work on.
Last touch by the chest off of Logan Moore for the Lions. Now here are the Cabras working their way through, trying to split multiple double teams. And here is Mayorga. Mayorga on that short baseline corner. This one sent inside, but then not able to put it in harm's way for his team to score.
That was just an excellent covering defense for the Lions, and especially the goalie there, just able to take any opportunities away. He's been in the right place in the right time throughout the whole game today.
Relax.
Lions able to keep this one in play. Still have a decent amount of time to get the shot they want and get the pressure they want. And here's a little bit of pressure from Emmanuel Pombar. Rather, Tom Pombar. Confair on the far side, tracking it down. It'll be a free kick as Congolino was the closest Cabra near. Pombar's there. Sends it through to the far side. Trying to beat it out was Beetle. Beetle able to stay with it to get it, but then Alejandro takes it. Alejandro still has it and be a foul.
And again, you're going to see fouls ramp up when you get more of that kind of pressure between two players where nobody can really get a handle on the ball. That's when you see the physicality come out, especially at this level when a lot of these kids are competitors and they want possession more than the other one.
This one sent in, but then there's no line near, and it's an easy grab for Brennis. So with that, Javoni, it looked like the Lions didn't have anyone to pressure the ball to at least make it a challenge for Breedis.
Yeah, it was definitely a good setup. There was just nobody there. Brennis with the easy catch should add that to his football highlight reel.
Throwing from the far side. Pombar sends it back to Confair. A little two-man game between those two. Sending this one around. Ethan Heller, who subbed in for PK, the injured PK rather, as he was hurt in the first half. As Confair hits the ground hard and a foul be called. And it'll be a yellow card will be issued to the Cabras. So our first card of the day, Javoni. And looks like the referees did not allow the teams to continue play.
Yeah, I didn't think they were ready yet. That was Lions trying to speed up this free kick just a little bit. Do they go for the same strategy of trying to do it all at once? This would, from beyond midfield, be the most impressive goal I think you'll see in this league the whole year. And there's a lot of teams all over the country in this league.
Confair sends this one in. Sent, headed away from the Cabras. And they'll stay. Well, this will go to the Lions.
Yeah, I think that was. I don't believe that was warranted for a yellow, but was a handball. Had to put his hands up to protect his face, and unfortunately, that's just reflex there.
Ethan Heller keeps this one in play, and not aware of it and not ready for the pass was John Confair. Pombar slides, but then has this one stolen away from Pennington. Great defensive play by Pennington. And now here's Alejandro on the far side trying to set everything up. Dribbling through, sends his man through. Now he's put this one inside, but then tipped away. Fighting for possession. Ball still in the air. Alejandro. This one's still in play as it was trending out of bounds. That was Cameron LeBuck. Being double teamed in the sideline, almost being shoved away. No call being made. That was Anthony Moroga. Bernis keeps it to the near side sideline. Here's Mayorga. Mayorga dribbling, going towards the middle. Far side, Alejandro trying to use the speed. Senses went inside and a great block. Dempsey made sure that one didn't have any possibility of being bounced around and tipped. Got a solid hand on it to stop its power.
And again, that's just one of the many times Dempsey's been in the right place at the right time. It seems like he hasn't really been in the wrong place at the wrong time at all. The 2 goals that he did give up weren't really his fault. They were goals that maybe even some professionals on major European soccer teams could not save.
It was a good goal, well, a solid sliding goal from Mayorga early in this game on the penalty kick. The placement was almost pro level. It was a nice left corner. And then the one earlier to Alejandro, it just had its perfect ball placement after being bounced in midair and had enough time and enough power from Alejandro to send that one through.
Tom, go.
Here's Confair. Confair tripped, and it'll be a penalty towards the Cabras. So, a coach's warning towards the Cabras sideline as the referee comes over to talk to the coaches.
And, you know, sometimes every once in a while, coaches get into it, don't always realize everything they're saying. Sometimes it's necessary for the ref to give them a friendly reminder.
This one's sent, skied, headed, and tracking it down is the goalie himself. Look at that. Didn't you say earlier in this game that Bernis just wants to be part of the action out there? He ran that one down all the way to the far side sideline.
Yeah, something tells me that if he got a chance, Brennis would be out there playing with them if he didn't have to be back there and protect the goal. But again, that's just an advantage to having a goalie that's not afraid to come out of the box like that, is his ability to really retain possession and get your offense going.
And this one, almost a tackle, straight tackle, American football tackle. We'll say that. John Confair, the guilty party on that one. Another coach's warning from the referee as players were warming up on the Cabras benches. This one's skied. Alejandro has it, trying to get out of the double team. He's able to give it to Ramos. Ramos heads towards the middle, now switches the field, going from right to left. Cabras playing keep away. This one sent inside. The header, but just goes too far to the left.
And I mean, if there was another Cabras player there, would have been a great setup for a potential goal. But again, a header's just like a knuckleball. It's almost impossible to really, unless you get a nice forehead shot, it's almost impossible to really control where that's going.
Brian Calley was able to get the ball under control. Now it goes to the far side of Alejandro. Alejandro being double teamed, almost shadowed for the double team. We've been saying how he's been pretty much the facilitator. This one sent in, still in Cabras' possession, and it'll stay in Cabras' possession. A little over 20 minutes left to go in this match. Still a 2-1 lead for the Cabras. Again, coming into this game, if you're just tuning in, perfect at home. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they are 0-2 on the road.
And it's been a pretty, even though with that statistic, you'd think that Cabras have a big advantage coming into this game, it's been a pretty evenly matched game.
Yeah.
Again, barring the almost improbable penalty shot, it would be a tied game.
Mayorga sends this one, and a nice save by Dempsey. One-handed. The way that ball was going, Giovanni, I thought it was going for a goal.
And Dempsey gets a little bit of revenge, takes one away from Mayorga that time. After the penalty kick I just mentioned earlier, that time Dempsey makes an improbable stop.
So foul was called on the far side, and Ramos stripped the ball away from a Lions player.
In case you forgot that this was a home game for the Cabras, that fan reaction told it all.
Yeah. They got the bell out. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I see someone in a cow suit.
I hope you're right. I can't see from over here, but I really
Next
hope you're
time
right
we
about
paint,
that.
rather the goat suit, as I'm being told from our producer. Still, to be showing up in a suit like that at a home game, the support is real. Substitutions will be made for the Lions. I believe that's Ethan Heller that will take a seat. And his replacement will be number 27, Ahmed. Ahmed El-Batagi. This one sent inside and right into the stomach of Dempsey. This one thrown in front of Palmbar, waiting for it, stutter stepping, boxing out, and keeping his man behind him.
I didn't see who it was, but Dempsey had about the coolest goalie moment I've seen in a while. First of all, caught the free kick and then ran over a Cabras player.
I did see that. I believe it was Ramos that he ran over.
before he threw the ball out. Made sure everybody knew that even though he's a goalie, he can stand his own ground out there.
Look, we've seen both of these two goalies be a little aggressive, more than usual. Trying to send this one ahead, and they do. Congolino sends it to Alejandro. Alejandro trying to beat out two. And then he's double teamed and has this one stolen away.
And again, Alejandro is the most intimidating, I guess you could say, person on the field at times, especially there where...
You saw the speed just now.
Oh, absolutely. And with the handling we know he has, it wasn't a guarantee that those two were going to be able to stop him.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, Alejandro was able to score, was the first one to score in this game in the first half. Confair swings this one around. And rather, Ethan Heller is still out there for the Lions. Here's Beadle. Beadle looking for the foul as he was ripped around through his waist. Palmbar to one of his one of his brothers. And Giovanni, coming in really into this second half, as the time is starting to really twiddle down, the Lions have had a hard time trying to get pressure really on the Cabras side of the field.
Yeah, barring any stoppage time, we are under 15 minutes, so definitely have to start watching that clock, as the Cabras have been good, at least on our broadcast that we've gotten to see here at home.
Yeah.
They've been good at running that clock down with a lead, which they've had coming into the final 15 minutes in every home game thus far this season.
Confair trying to do exactly what we just spoke about, switching field positions. Coming in out of nowhere is Beadle. Beadle has a step, sends this one inside, ties the game. Able to split defenders.
And Lloyd, you said it best, comes out of nowhere. Nobody knew where he came from there. He just kind of appeared, and he appeared in the perfect place.
As we can see on the replay, he comes from almost essentially the right side of the field, right middle, then takes this one all the way to the left to weed out all the defenders that he could and uses his left foot to tie the game at 2-0.
And an excellent shot there, too. Brennis, who is one of the shorter players out there, if he had another 6 inches to a foot on him, might have been able to reach that one. But again, you've got to take advantage of everything you can and just put that ball in a perfect place.
So Ernie Cali comes in for the Cabras, and taking a seat is his brother and Brian Cali. So brother for brother. But the game is now tied at 2.
And all of a sudden, my last point is just invalidated. This is unprecedented here at home, and the Cabras now have to turn back on the pressure to try and not only get an insurance goal, but just get a would-be game-winning goal.
And if you can kind of see the change in energy, Javoni, the Lions started to pick up pressure all the way on the other side of the field where the Cabras get it. They started to, back off of the pressure towards midway of this second half, but they started to give this energy, as we can hear Pombar right now saying, lift that energy up.
Yeah, absolutely. The Lions now are kind of in the driver's seat with the momentum here, trying just to, if they're able to put a third goal on the board, it might be a shocking defeat where on paper, again, Cabras undefeated at home, Lions have not won on the road. The script was set for the Cabras to win here, so definitely would be a shocking, even though they're evenly matched, would be a shocking turn of events if the Lions are able to come back and win this one.
You need to be able to handle your business at home. Cabras have done it thus far this season. Still in an early season, only 6 games played. They're coming into this one 3-2-1, Javoni. They have already tied in a game earlier this season, and it was in their last time out. This one set inside. The header from the Lions. Alejandro on the far side goes to get it. He has a bicycle kick that sends this one, but it goes out of bounds. What an impressive kick by Alejandro, but it would have been better if he was able to get it into the net.
I mean, every time you see a bicycle kick, you hope that it goes into the net. I think even some of the Cabras, or not because the Cabras obviously want to score. I think even some of the Lions fans might have wanted that one to go into the net just because of how miraculous and angelic that kick looks.
So this one kicked out of bounds from Osario. And it'll be a throw-in for the Lions, who are in Cabras territory. This one thrown in to Pombar. The pressure is on. And going down and out of control was Elbatagi. Cabras take over on the far side. And as we can see, Javoni, the energy started to pick up for the Lions. You can see the defensive pressure they're bringing now that they didn't earlier in that second half of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's exactly what they needed, something that probably talked about in half. It took them a little while in the second half to get going, but definitely you can see that energy picking up. Also, something to note, there was no stoppage time at the end of the first half, so if we see the same thing, we are under 10 minutes to play here.
A little bit under 10 minutes left to go. If, in fact, the stoppage time is not a factor, this game is in anyone's hands, Javon.
Yeah, and you're going to start to see as the time runs down.
And this one was almost put in by the Cabras, and specifically, I believe the closest one to that was number 6 in Ernie Khalil, who just subbed in not too long ago in the game.
And I was about to say, you're going to see the energy start to shift and pick up a little bit more from both sides. You're going to see, I think, a little bit more shots, especially because...
Corner kick, inside, header, nothing there. We'll see who was last touched by, and they say it'll be in Lions possession.
You're going to see a lot more shots as well because of the fact that neither of these teams, they'll take a tie, but they don't want a tie. So they're going to favor the offense more than the defense in the last 8.5.
Both teams making substitutions so far on the near side sideline for the Cabras. For the Cabras, as we're trying to get the number from him. It'll be number 12, Danilo Lopez. And on the other side, for the Lions, it'll be PJ Sarah. So in a game like this, where multiple bodies and substitutions have to be used, you can tell at some point both of these two teams are gassed, Javoni.
Yeah, and that's why any sport, but especially the ones where you see in long games like this at the end when the substitutions become a factor, it's important to have depth. You cannot just have a couple of starters. You need to have a strong bench who you can rely on to come in a tied game like this and be able to help you get the win.
So with that last goal, we saw that Tevin Beadle, who is now officially leading the team in scoring with now 4 goals on the season. And we saw in a spectacular way to tie this game up at 2. But he really, Javoni, has really only been the one that has been able to put this one in the hole.
Yeah, absolutely, and a very athletic goal. You can tell why he's leading this team in goals with how he was able to score and the fashion he was able to score.
All 3 of the Pombar brothers, with an interesting fact, Javoni, have goals on the season. So all 3 of them are able to do spectacular things when within that scorer's territory.
Absolutely, and the fact that we've seen them touch the ball and have possession so much, it makes sense. And I believe it was Emmanuel Pombar who had the goal for them today.
Yep.
With how many goals they have scored, I would be willing to bet they've had probably at least one of them has scored in every game.
So with the 2 goals, they came into this game with 13 goals as a team on the season. And they now have 15 on the season, which eclipsed the amount of total goals coming into the game for the Cabras. And with that, Emmanuel Pombar got his 2nd goal of the season. Here's Pombar Jr. He was the closest Lion to it. On the far side, still fighting for this one. Trying to keep it in play and then heading out of bounds. And going out was
And you could tell there, Pombar Jr., who had sort of an open shot, the bench at least, which I can hear over to my right, they wanted him to take that shot instead of looking for the extra pass, which sometimes, while people encourage the extra pass, sometimes it comes at the detriment where it could cloud your judgment of taking that shot.
Yep. Sometimes it's just best that you do it yourself, but teamwork is also important. The Cabras take possession a little bit less than 5 minutes if we don't have any extra time to play. In a scorer's territory on the far side is Mayorga. Mayorga working his way, using great moves, trying to get past his defender. Brings this one back out. And then stolen away from Pombar Jr. He sends this one into middle. And then off of the knees
To you. They passed
To
it
me.
to you.
Hey, if they want me to get out there with my dress shoes on, I'm all game. Mayorga, right in front of our cameras, sends this one in and almost turns this one over. And it will be a turnover. Here's Pombar. Pombar trying to take it himself. Had a through ball option, doesn't use it. Trying to take it, and then has this one stolen away from him. Cabras take over, and then turned over once again from the Lions. Both teams had opportunities with a fast break, essentially. You can't do anything when you turn the ball over on the far side of the Lions.
Yeah, and again, that's where you're seeing that kind of emphasis on the offense rather than the defense here. Both of these teams are willing to take risks under 4 minutes to play to try to get that ball in the goal.
Danilo Lopez had it, and then a shot was taken, but it goes to the left. And maybe a little bit impatient shot that time, Javoni, just wanted to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of a tough situation you're in there, because if you get it in the net, you're a hero, but if you don't, everybody's like, well, you could have waited a little bit longer. So definitely a high risk, high reward type of shot there.
A little less than 4 minutes left to go, again, barring any extra time. On the far side is Beadle. And there'll be an offsides call. So the Cabras will take over. A little less than 3 minutes. Mayoga, near sideline, sends this one towards the middle, putting pressure. And then coming up to come get it was Dempsey. Again, an aggressive goalkeeper, Javoni. Need him sometimes.
Oh, especially in this situation where they're hoping Dempsey can jumpstart their offense a little bit here just for this last little bit.
Here's Pombar Jr. He has it. He sends this one, and it'll be an easy save, as we saw a little bit of impatience from both sides now, Javoni.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point, it's just if you get a shot that you think's open, you're going to take it.
This one skied into the dark air. I don't have to say dark anymore. We have the lights, but when it's up there, it has to come down to eye level for us to see it. So foul call, and it'll be Lions possession.
Now, I mean, this is so fast-paced, we could see 2 or 3 more runs up and down the field, but definitely getting towards last-ditch efforts here.
Far side, this one sent in, but then stolen away from the Cabras. And the way that the pace is going, Javoni, you have to think that we might have, oh, nice, behind the back pass. As this one, he's being dragged down, Alejandro on the far side, and that'll be an easy card, as it'll be a free kick.
And that's
dragged down.
That's a kind of interesting one. I never want to say a penalty's warranted, especially one that warrants you a yellow card, but with a player like Alejandro, who's so fast, we've seen what he can do. At some point, you had to stop him there, because if he was able to get a one-on-one with Dempsey, it might have been game over for the Lions.
Alejandro tries to send this one in, fighting for possession inside the box, and then a foul was called now on the Cabras. A little bit overzealous that time. It'll be a turnover. But the way the pace is going, Javoni, you have to wonder we might have a little bit more extra time on the clock.
Yeah, we did see that injury at the very beginning of this half, so definitely could see some stoppage time, but you never know, especially at this level. They're not as intense with the stoppage time as you'll see as you move up the ranks of U.S. minor league and then eventually Major League Soccer.
So as you can see on the screen, it is at 90 minutes. So that is an unofficial time, as we're waiting for the referees to give us the official. But play continues. Still tie game at 2.
Unfortunately, we don't have the official Hublot-sponsored stoppage clock that they have in the English Premier League. But
on the far side, it'll be a throw-in from the Cabras. Headed away from Lombard. Mayorga. This one sent inside the header, and coming up was Dempsey. Dempsey tried to make a play on the ball at its highest point. Cabras still have possession.
And the Cabras have to be aggressive now.
This one sent in the middle. Confair gets it out of harm's way. Almost losing his step was Palmbar on the far side. The kick put inside, tipped away, scored! What a goal! The Cabras take this one 3-2. What a shot for the game winner! And the Cabras stay perfect at home.
That's why your substitutions are important.
And it was by the man that just subbed into the game. What a play. Number 12, Danilo Lopez sends this one in, and a little bit extracurricular is after. But Javoni, Danilo Lopez, who hadn't played at all in this game and was subbed in a little bit, 15 minutes left to go. The substitution guy comes in to make a huge play.
Oh, and it's just such a rewarding thing when I'm actually right for once. Again, the broadcaster's curse does strike a lot here, but I made the point, substitutions can be your best friend, and in this case we see why, as Danilo Lopez on fresh legs there, just able to take advantage of his situation, get the pass that was crossed in, and that was just a perfect shot, what the Cabras needed, and with what I can only imagine is very little stoppage time left, the Cabras, barring a Lions miracle, will take this one.
So for me, I was even a little bit premature. There's still some time left for the Lions to make a play.
Yeah, you almost wish that was a buzzer beater, right? If they blew the whistles right after it.
But the way that the game was going, we didn't know if there was any injury time. So we don't still, as broadcasters as well, try to give you to the audience, we don't have an official time.
And you've got the age-old send everybody but one back defense that you love to see. Danilo Lopez gets to be the one that stays forward.
He has all the energy. You have to give him the juice. So, man, we're still the unofficial time. We play on, and the Lions are in desperation mode at this point, Javoni.
And at this point, they will take that, any opportunity to be able and push the ball out of bounds at this point, waste some time. That's exactly what they need. Again, even in stoppage time, there is no stoppage.
So we finally got the official time. It's about 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go in this match. Foul was called on the Lions, and the Cabras will take over. So with now a little bit less than a minute left to go, Javoni, essentially Danilo Lopez got the buzzer beater.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a good game of keep away here if the Cabras are able to do what they want to do.
As you said, they sent the guy that just made the goal, all that energy, they sent him to at least put a little bit pressure on the ball handler. This one's sent, just trying to keep it away, and that will do it. The Cabras stay perfect at home and now elevate their record to 4-2-1 after the buzzer-beating goal, as you would say, the game-winning goal from the substitution man, Danilo Lopez.
I mean, that was everything you want to see at the end of a game like this. An excellent game comes down to stoppage time, and Danilo Lopez, the hero that the Cabras needed, was able to go in there, just be in the right place at the right time, put a beautiful goal in, and it's an unfortunate loss for the Lions, who played very well in this game, but an excellent win for the Cabras, probably their best of the season just because of the fashion they were able to win in.
So final score here, 3-2, as the Cabras take this one in a glorious fashion, as well as a heartbreaker for the Lions, Javoni, as they now drop to fought in between 500, 3-3.
I mean, with how the season's gone, definitely a big win for the Cabras, coming into an evenly matched, coming in against an evenly matched opponent like the Williamsport City Lions, who gave them a good show, but again, to win in that fashion, just an excellent morale booster, and I'm sure Cabras FC will take the momentum from this game and push it forward for many to come.
So the Cabras extend their winning streak now to 3 as they take this one 3-2 against Williamsport City Lions. From Central Park here in Morristown, myself, Lloyd Wilson, Matt Giavoni, and our wonderful producer and Paul Arbery. The Cabras take this one 3-2. Thank you for watching another Cabras football production associated with Morris Sussex Sports. Hopefully you enjoyed the game. Thank you for tuning in. Sends this one inside, headed away from the Lions. Keeping it alive are the Cabras. The shot, no good, but a solid one coming from Christian Mayorga. Maybe corner kick coming up. Rather, no, it'll be a throw-in. This one thrown into the box. And a nice shot inside and scores. And the first one to get on the board.
It's going to be interesting as the Lions are able to keep it in here, how they're able to test this defense and continue to take different shots to see what's going to work for them.
This one sent in, flying high for the ball and hitting the top of the bar. It was hard to see who got the header on at 7, but this is not the only game that's going to be played here today, as this one's sent. And an opportunity for the Lions. By himself, takes the shot and scores! All by himself, Emmanuel Pomba on the far side, having some room. Here are the Cabras, and then chasing it down, able to still get this one away, taking the shot, and is saved. And they say it'll be a foul inside the scorer's pit. And this could be a huge one. Just put them up. 2-0. Mayorga sings it in. Top left of the corner, and the Cabras take the lead.
Advantage coming into this game. It's been a pretty evenly matched game.
Yeah.
Again, barring the almost improbable penalty shot, it would be a tied game.
Mayorga sends this one, and a nice save by Dempsey. One-handed. Confair trying to do exactly what we just spoke about, switching field positions. Coming in out of nowhere is Beadle. Beadle has a step, sends this one inside, ties the game. Able to split defenders. The kick put inside, tipped away, score!